Ladies
everybody.
and gentlemen,
Wow,
we just got off of Tamasha.
Wow.
What does that? What does that mean?
I
That
don't
was a roller coaster of
That
emotions
was
and
okay.
and personalities
Again,
and everything.
my theory: when the director is the writer as well, I think the movie is better.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's kind of what we've been seeing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's that trend of okay, the director writes it. Also, that means it must really hit close to home for the director. For the director, because he's like, hey, I wrote this. I want to make sure
I
the
care.
movie turns
It's
out
my
well.
baby.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally agree, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, what a strange, interesting movie.
The
first quarter of it was like, this is not even a movie. It's just a sequence.
Yeah,
of a
I
music
didn't know
video.
where it was really
Where
going.
we were going, and anyways,
But,
yeah.
wow, I thought
Then
it
turned
really
into
ended strong.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, look at that. Even the poster is just all these different stories in the background. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, and there was
Analysis of
so
self-identity.
like
Right.
the cinematography and the use of like different colors and like he was wearing green all the time, and then the clowns in the background representing what I think was his childhood, kind of trying to him trying to get back to his childhood or to get back to those stories from his childhood.
There's a lot of symbolism.
There's a lot of symbolism, and I thought it was super well done. I mean,
I did too.
I think that the first third of the movie was probably the weakest point, just because it was mostly, or I mean, in my eyes, just because it was a lot of just all music, and which is fine, but like the story was kind of, it wasn't really going anywhere. Is what I guess what I'm trying to say.
They were met.
It was fun. The music
Don
was
Juan
fun.
Era.
Yeah.
The music was great. Everything was fun, but the story wasn't going anywhere fast. But then once it got to like that halfway point,
we really hit that wall.
It was like we didn't know where it was gonna go, because like his personality changed to that businessman, like, hey, I'm just gonna be a robot type thing, and it was that was really interesting. From that point on, I was like, where is this gonna go? And that's where it really picked up for me. And I really like where it ended up and how the story ended. But yeah, what did you guys think?
Yeah, I thought the beginning was I think you needed to have the beginning to break your heart in the middle. Yeah, because my heart was so broken.
Oh, that was so hard to watch when he was going through all those different emotions, and she was just like, "Hey, I want to stick with you,"
and you were just like, "This is off. Like, no, what is going on? Like, what happened? This is a disaster." But I really like how the movie was. It's honestly less of a love story and more of a story of self-identity. Yeah, which I think is really interesting for a It is totally a romance, but it's also just a guy's journey trying to get out of, like, in America we call it the rat race, which is just like that. The cycle, wake up. Just the wake up,
and
go to work,
I think
wake
they even
up.
called it that in the movie.
Did they? Okay.
Well, the race. They were referring
to
the race.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I think it's totally applicable to American culture as well. That you fall into that.
I mean, it's
And that's what was so fun about the beginning of the movie, was there was that magical quality of lightheartedness. That when you get to the middle, it just juxtaposes the middle so much, where you're just like, oh, this sucks. Like, this guy's boring. He's got a weird goatee. You know what I mean? It's just like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Needed to shave that
like a
goatee.
Completely normal. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, he turned into a robot.
Well, and you can see, I mean, it's so relatable, too, in a way where it's like, we all can fall into that. Yeah. Like monotone, just the same routine every day, right? But there's ways to find joy in those routine things. But I like how he needed to just break out of that role.
Don't lose your sense of identity,
because he lost it. Yeah, if you're if you're losing your sense of identity in your work or if something's taking over your life in that way, that means you do need to get out of it, and that's what he did with his job in a way.
Absolutely,
he had to go after his passions and his storytelling passions. So
yeah, totally.
But yeah, it was wow. Yeah, I mean, this was a really relatable movie, and like you said, it wasn't necessarily a love story. It was which I liked because he kind of had to find himself first before really going back to her. Yeah, because otherwise it just would have ended. It wouldn't have ended well if he tried to go back to her when he was in that weird and that's personality.
That one
switch
scene
where he wasn't sure what
that one scene broke your heart when he was like, I have to go, and she's crying on the table and he leaves. It breaks your heart, but I kind of understood where he was coming from because he was like, I know what you need, and I want to give that to you. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Right,
I need to get there before we can.
And he even said, he's like, Don will return someday.
Yeah.
And she's like, wait, but why?
And it took a year, and I'm sure that was a painful year, but it pays off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was really cool how they did that too.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
In the setting, like how it ended with the play and how he became successful in his own way.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, he's, now he just doesn't know what to do. No, he had a path forward, and he became successful.
He pursued his passion.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
This director, Imtiaz Ali.
He did Jab We Met.
Okay.
He did do Jab We Met.
And Highway. Wait, writer for... Okay.
Interesting. Well, let me tell you.
I like this.
This was my favorite out of the movies that we've seen from him. Between the two that we've seen.
I agree. Between Highway and Jab We Met,
I think I liked Highway better, but...
I think I feel like this was from the heart.
Mm. Yeah, it was a personal project.
I think this was his personal project.
He had a very clear kind of vision for what he wanted to portray. I mean, the thing is, like, you always come back to the analogy of, you're just a robot in the corporate environment. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's an often, like, we know that concept, we've heard it, we've seen it. But this is, I suppose, one of the few, like, kind of on the nose, like, hey, we're actually showing this, taking that, and I thought it did. Yeah, I thought it was pretty well done. I think it lasted too long in certain areas for what they were.
For the beginning, for sure.
The beginning, the Corsica element, I think, was maybe a half an hour or something like that.
Yeah.
It probably could have been 15 minutes.
It could have been,
but. And then they switch to of course, the seriousness, and it's like, okay, I know where they're going, and so that was the thing. At least for me, I think I knew that it was going to end up. You didn't really know where in between where it was going to go, but you always knew where it was going to end up, where he would find himself,
right,
and then obviously find her again. So it wasn't like it was extremely like, oh man, what's going to happen? Who knows? But
yeah. But it was the journey, for what it
though.
Was. The journey was so, I don't know. I just, even though you kind of can predict
it's kind of like a Disney movie.
It's the path.
Or like a Marvel.
You know what's going to happen.
But like a Disney movie you like. Even though you know the ending, they'll end up fine at the end.
Yeah.
You enjoy the movie, or like the journey.
The path to get there. Because like when he was telling his dad that story, like that was I thought that was the best part. Like
in a nutshell, it was. Yeah,
that was the movie right there.
Yeah. Well, and that was I thought the best part of the movie there, and that like how he kind of made up with his dad, and like just that whole scene was so powerful. So like and even though we kind of knew where it was gonna go, it's like, hey, the acting, the cinematography, everything made it really entertaining and kept me invested. Even though we kind of all knew where it would go at the end. Yeah. But I thought I thought this was really unique, like the storytelling.
That's what I liked about it. It was
how there were like 4
unique.
parts, right?
Yeah.
And like it was kind of in the style of his play throughout and I'm sure in that play it went through all those stages of his life.
Yeah,
the
correlation with the play was cool.
It's
It's
a very simple plot in that it's just it's a love story kind of like wrapped in a movie of self-identity, which movies about self-identity have been done before, and movies about obviously love stories are all over the place. But combining them was interesting. But then also I think telling it in this very whimsical way was quite fun. You don't see a lot of imagery, I think, in Indian movies, and it had a lot of imagery.
And you were like, whoa, what's on screen now, basically.
Yeah,
which
and
that's
at the
something
beginning,
that's new. That's something that's new. There's surrealist American and French movies, and more so in other countries, probably. There's just that surrealist factor. This one actually brought that in spades. Quite a bit.
And at the beginning too, with the film grain and like going through all those stories and combining the stories.
I did appreciate that
old
style.
Elderly guy.
The cinematography, was really interesting. It was unique. It was kind of its own thing, which is always a plus to a movie when it creates its own style. I think that's so cool when a movie does that and kind of runs with it the whole time.
Yeah.
And kind of makes that part of the movie, which it did, because it's all about creativity, which I think is so perfectly like together on it. So
Yep. I agree.
Well done, Imtiaz.
Imtiaz Ali.
Yeah, that was
well done.
Really good.
Letterboxd.
Oh man, I don't know what to do here.
Let's do Letterboxd.
I don't know what to do. It was so
Letterboxd. Woo, 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 woo. Before we do Letterboxd, I'm going to tease this a bit, all right? I was talking to a buddy of mine and at work, and he said that we should check out 3 different movies. So commenters, get commenting in this video, because he said we should watch Mission Istanbul, Tarzan Wonder Car, and Gunda.
I don't think any of these are on our list.
I don't think they are either. So, guys, let us know in the comments. Should these get added to the list?
Yes, let us know.
Should we watch them? Because, let us know. We don't know if we should.
That just reminded me, we will be releasing a top 10 Indian movies
list. Very soon, actually.
Very soon, because this will come out beginning of January. This episode.
Yes.
So,
which actually we got to do that real soon.
We need to do that.
We got to do that real soon.
But be on the lookout for that. Please check that out.
Absolutely.
We'll do a top 10
guys.
films list and a top
exciting.
10 U.S. films list too for the Oscar. Well, since the Oscars are coming up too, we're gonna be getting into that soon also.
Yeah.
But so lots of content.
We're excited,
coming.
guys.
We're really excited.
Hit like, hit subscribe.
But first, our rating.
First, our rating.
Hold on.
I'm going with a. Ready for mine?
Man, I still haven't decided yet.
Yes.
I'm torn because it was so good.
All right, I'm ready. Okay. We gotta do a 3, 2, 1 on this. It's two. Everyone is different. It's 2 up in the air. All right, we gotta do it.
Interesting.
3, 2, 1, 4.
3.5.
Okay. Yep. I was really close to 4.5, but the first part of the film didn't get me as much, so I kind of had to bump it down to a 4.
Yep.
But overall, I really enjoyed that movie.
I did too.
I
really want to watch this with my family.
If the style wasn't there, I think I would have been
totally
really
agree.
Not into it. But the style was pretty cool. And then Ranbir and Deepika are just really good lead actors.
They are. They have good chemistry too.
I mean, they really do a great job. So
and I really liked, especially the way the transitions and stuff when he was telling it. So when he was telling the story to his dad, and it showed it a huge part of his life happened in that 5 minutes. It was such good storytelling and direction on the on the Imitaz part, because it was just so smooth. And then when it would say a year later and a year later, and it would just the transition between points.
The singing guy
the singing in between. It was really, that whole part of it was so unique,
right?
And it made it entertaining seeing that the years pass by. Usually it's just 1 year later, okay, whatever. But the director really made it entertaining and interesting during those transitions between different periods of their lives. So
But
anyway,
totally agree. I love
random
it.
Side
guys,
note,
check it out. Hit subscribe.
Yes, please do. We'll see you in the next
See
video.
you later.
see ya.